Hey guys, it's Jen from Yarnia, Montclair's local yarn store, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about how you pick up a button band when you're about to steek something. So there are a couple of different ways to pick up stitches, and this is an interesting way to do it, where if you're picking up stitches when you're planning to steek a sweater, normally you would pick up along an edge and you would poke your needle in, making sure you have two strands, and pull up a stitch. Now, you can still do that with your steeked sweater or your steeked button bands, but rather than having to wait until you've cut your steek and picking up your button bands, you can also pick up your button bands before you cut the steek. You can do it in this manner where you poke in and pull up from underneath, but it's a little tricky. If you can see, my hand is underneath with the yarn. I'm over here and it's a little bit fighting blind, right? Where I'm picking up in the middle and it's a little harder. So the way that I like to do it when I'm working on a steeked button band on a sweater or anything steeked, it could be a sleeve opening, is to actually fold the yarn. So let's assume that our steek is running right down here, that this is where we're going to steek. So what I'm going to do is go over to this column right here, and I'm going to fold this column in half so I see just this column, the V's, directly to the right, I guess, of my steek. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pick up into both of these legs of the V stitch. You can see how my needle is. So I'm really folding my sweater like this, or my swatch like this. So I have this at the top and the two sides at the bottom. And then I'm going into the right leg underneath and to the left leg underneath. I'm taking my yarn, I'm wrapping it around, and I'm pulling up a stitch, just like I would normally when I'm picking up stitches. But in this case, I'm going in between. So I'm going to do the same thing on the next stitch. I'm going to go into the right and the left leg, pull up a stitch. Now, we're still picking up in stockinette, so we still need to pay attention to our ratio, which our general ratio for stockinette picking up is 3 stitches to every 4 rows. And the way that we handle that is we picked up 1 stitch, we picked up 2 stitch, we're about to pick up 3 stitch, and then we're going to skip this number 4, just skip them, and then we're going to go 1, count again in your head, 2, pick them up, 3, pick them up, skip. 1, you can really see right here, my right leg, my left leg. Wrap my yarn around. I hold it with my fingers so it doesn't slide off. Pull up a loop. I lost track already. Isn't that bad? So all else fails, I can look and see. 1, 2, 3. Here's a little gap. 1, 2, 3. Here's a little gap. So now I'm on 1. So now I'm going to go to 2. And I'm going to go to 3. And I'm only going to do this right now because I want to show you what it looks like when you have it down. So if you take a look at this, this is one side of my sweater. These are my steek stitches. And I'm going to do this on the other side. The really nice thing about this is that this is actually very similar to a crochet stabilization. So the button bands are going to provide a little bit of extra stabilization for your steek. So you really don't have to worry about it coming undone. And then on the back, you can see, and you can really see with the contrast, these little dashes, boop, 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 boop. That's your yarn from your button band. So if I wanted to continue and just do this, say it's a garter stitch button band, and I'm just going to knit this a little bit. And you'll really be able to tell how this will help hold your sweater together. That last guy is always a little bit loose, but that's why you have a tail. And we're going to do a little bit more, one more row, so you can really see how this works. There we go. So now we have a little bit of fabric for our button bands right there. And it's pulling right through. It's holding on. The nice thing about this also is that when you cut your steek, right down here, snip, 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 this button band pickup will help flip everything over like that. And won't that look nice and tidy? So just remember, the key to picking up stitches, especially in stockinette, is your ratio. And also, you always want to pick up 2 strands, whether you're doing it in the middle of the fabric, here, or you're doing it at the edge of the fabric, here. I hope that was helpful for you, and good. If you are steeking a sweater, good luck. It's very fun, it's very addictive, and you can follow us at Yarnia, at Chronicles of Yarnia, our podcast on YouTube, on Ravelry as Shop Yarnia, Instagram as Shop Yarnia, and also our website, shopyarnia.com. Thanks so much for watching.